Jesse Granger with The Athletic. You mentioned after Game 4 that they kind of changed their forecheck a little bit and were pressuring a lot on the strong side. I'm wondering, did they kind of continue that? And what do you guys need to do to get away from that?
Well, we need to skate and wheel out the other side if there's ice available. If not, we got to rim out. We were stubborn last night, refused to do that a number of times and got us in trouble.
Ken Bolkes in Vegas about stubbornness. Felt like the neutral zone, puck wasn't getting in deep as often. Is that something that has to happen too?
No, absolutely. Puck management, we talked about it, 24 giveaways. A lot of that was below the goal line, and those are pressure situations for the D, so it's not easy. You're not going to be perfect there. We understand that. They're a good forecheck team. We need to clean some of that up and, again, emphasize the easier outs. Easier said than done sometimes when you're under pressure. Well, that goes to Jesse's question. And then the puck management with the forwards, they just, I don't know if they thought there was an opportunity to get into a rush game because their D are pinching aggressively. We did have some numbers at times. They came back and scored, and we had a 4-on-2 going the other way. We didn't execute. So some of it is the plays are there. We don't make them. That's what happened last night. And then there was times we're trying to make them and they're not there. And that was a problem as well. And now you're playing in your own end. They come back at you. So we have to get back to the formula that was successful for us. We've gotten away from it a little bit here. Some of that is a credit to Dallas, and some of it's just, we got a lead, and I can't say what's in the players' heads, but maybe they're seeing something there that's not there, and we got to remind them that what's available to us and get back to that.
I just want to follow up on that. What do you mean by not there? Like seeing something that's not there?
Well, they might think it's an odd man rush at 3-on-2 and there's back pressure right behind them, and all of a sudden now we're trying to make a play, they're D-step up and they're going the other way. So
Gotcha.
There's not always an opportunity to make a play off the rush.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you got to play behind him and go create off the forecheck.
I'm Nick Hotsnicker from NHL.com. Just Jamie Benn returns. How does that affect the game on the ice, and what do you have to do?
They're 2-0 without him, so I don't know. I think we're worried about our own team right now, to be honest with you.
Hey, Bruce, what's the message to your group today?
Get harder. Let's get serious and get harder about our puck management and our battles. After you go through the game, you see a little bit more of it when you could stop. Slot battle, particularly Gary, our net front, we need to be a lot harder. We've got a big D-core, they got to play like it again, and then we've got to get inside in front of their net. There's a couple opportunities, I think, in the O-zone where we could have been greasier in front of their net, where we're waiting a little on the outside. There were some where we did get there and had good looks. But to me, it's become a bit of a slot battle series now. There's always execution on each side. Discipline on each team the last two games has been very good. You're not seeing them parade to the penalty box. It's a lot of 5-on-5 hockey. We got to get better in the slot.
How much right now does your leadership have to step forward and kind of take control of that message?
Well, there's a group here that's been through this, and they've been to this stage, and then we got to get to the next stage. We got to get over the hump. I consider myself a part of that leadership group, so we all have to step up and do our job that way. But it is a little bit internal here, where the guys have to draw on their experience now. That's what they, you want to use it when you need it, and we need it now. We need the guys to reset here. Today's a travel day, but we do have to understand that we can't keep playing the way we have the last two games and expect them to go away. They're even hungrier now, probably, and feeling more confident. So we still have the series lead. We can't overlook that. But at the end of the day, that's where they've got to sort of internally, and I've said it before, sometimes you have to push one another, the group, and it's not always comfortable. So that's where we're at now.
Danny Webster, Las Vegas Sun. Did you like what you saw with the lineup changes you made last night with moving Haddam down?
Well, I liked Amadio's game. He was fine. He's on pucks. He was strong on pucks. He wanted to make a difference. I thought he did a good job. The lines, we'll revisit those as well. Now that we're on the road, is Nick Waugh better off back in the middle? Ammo with Carly and Smitty. We've done that a lot. We can move those pieces around, but I don't know that the lines necessarily were the reasons we got outworked. Perfectly honest with you, that our fourth line didn't do what it typically does in terms of puck possession in the O zone, and then they were forced to play and got outworked in the D zone. So that's something I would expect to change. Whether Howden's on that line, Bluger, Nick Waugh, they'd have to do a better job against their fourth line. Give credit to to that line for Dallas. They outplayed our guys. So that was one part of the game where that slot battle comes into play and that urgency and battles and you know, that tilts the game in their favor because, you know, when they get the low to high game going into the net, they crash the net well. When our fourth line's going well like that, you know, our game goes better. Now, Colasar had a great chance to extend or get the lead for us last, you know, so they did some good things. They just have to get back to who they are and their identity, and they're not alone, but that's one area that we'd like to see be more of a factor.
Benn, Las Vegas Review Journal. Bruce, apologies if you already answered this, but what needs to change in terms of your breakouts to start neutralizing their forecheck a little bit more?
Well, I think we have to get our feet moving on first touch and get out the other side, or we have to rim out sometimes and win the battle on the wall. Their deal be pinching. Our wingers got to get there first, body position, stick position, whatever you need. Low center support, just to keep them off balance a little bit. I think we're going up the strong side a lot, and you can still do that. I mean, we've done it successfully all year. We didn't execute the first touch for whatever reason. Is that the four other guys not supporting? Is that their guy being so fast on top of us? Give them credit, but we didn't execute like we typically do with the first touch. They were cutting off a lot of those plays and went right to the front of our net. Some went in the net, some didn't. But at the end of the day, we need to be cleaner there on that first touch. And I'm not saying you have to rim out every puck. We don't want to become so predictable, but we do have to be a little more deception and cleaner.